Todd swam 500 meters off the coast of New Zealand, the sunlight fading as the water turned a deep, haunting blue. Suddenly, the silence broke. A massive shadow began to circle him with predatory precision. Then, the nightmare surfaced. A great white shark breached the water, its jagged teeth glinting just inches from his leg. Todd froze, paralyzed by the sight of certain death. Suddenly, a heavy weight slammed into his side, knocking him away from the predator. Todd tumbled through the waves, gasping for air. A bottlenose dolphin had rammed the shark, forcing it to retreat. The dolphin continued to circle Todd, creating a living defensive barrier. It held the line until a nearby boat spotted him. As the crew pulled him to safety, the Guardian breached once and vanished. This was no coincidence. From dogs waking families during house fires to cats leading rescuers through rubble, these animals are more than pets. They are guardians. Courage is not a human privilege. It is a shared instinct that defies the odds. Stay tuned as we dive into more incredible stories. David paddled through the vast open water, his hands slicing rhythmically into the deep blue surface. The shoreline was nothing more than a thin gray line in the distance. He was alone, or so he thought, until a dark, serrated dorsal fin sliced through the waves 50 yards to his left. David froze, his heart hammering against his ribs like a trapped bird. The shark turned, its lean body closing the gap with terrifying speed. Before David could even turn to swim, the water erupted in a white, violent frenzy right before his eyes. A dozen dolphins slammed into the surface between him and the predator. They did not flee. Instead, they locked into a tight, spinning formation, circling David in a defensive ring. Every time the shark darted forward, two dolphins struck the water with their tails, creating a wall of bubbles and force. The shark lunged, but was met with a barrage of thuds and clicks from the pod. For 5 agonizing minutes, the water churned with violence as David kicked hard toward the beach, his eyes locked on the spray. The shark suddenly veered away into the depths. As David collapsed on the shore, the pod leaped once in unison before vanishing. This behavior mirrors how dolphins protect their own calves. Would you trust them to protect midnight? The house is held in a heavy, fragile silence. Deep in the kitchen, a faulty wire short-circuits, throwing a single spark into the dark. A flame catches the curtain. It climbs the wall with a hungry hiss, as thick, black smoke begins its crawl down the hallway. Buster lies on the rug, his ears twitching in the stillness. He lifts his head, sniffing the heavy air. He stands, trotting toward the kitchen until he sees it. The orange glow reflects in his wide eyes. He doesn't hesitate. He turns and sprints back to the master bedroom door. He barks once, then again, his paws scratching frantically at the wood. The mother wakes, coughing as the smoke hits her lungs. "Wake up," she screams. She grabs the father and pulls the child from the bed. They crawl low, lungs burning, moving through the blistering heat of the living room. The roof rafters crack above them as they scramble out into the night. They collapse on the grass, the house fully engulfed in seconds. Buster stands beside them, shaking the soot from his fur. The family huddles together, watching the flames take everything but their lives. The dog remains by their side, silent and loyal. Tell me, could your dog do the same? A 3-year-old toddler strayed from the path, tumbling into the dry, rocky ravine. At the bottom, a venomous viper coiled, ready to strike. The crowd above gasped, frozen in silence. The distance was too great. Before anyone could move, the herd guardian shifted. A massive elephant broke away, its heavy feet thudding against the dirt. With surprising grace, the giant descended the embankment, moving toward the danger below. The elephant planted itself firmly between the child and the snake. It spread its front legs wide, creating a living wall of gray skin. The viper struck at the trunk, but thick hide deflected the fangs harmlessly. The giant remained perfectly still, its small eye fixed on the child huddled behind its massive knee. Minutes stretched into an eternity as the world held its breath. The guardian did not flinch, standing as an immovable fortress against the deadly threat. Rangers arrived, hoisting the child to safety. Only then did the elephant rejoin its herd. True strength is not the force of a stomp, but the choice to stand between the vulnerable and the threat. The concrete wall loomed high, but for the toddler who slipped through the railing, it was a sudden drop into the abyss. Below, a 400-pound silverback stood motionless, his dark eyes fixed on the small, crumpled figure. Above, the crowd erupted into screams. Parents clutched their children in terror as security guards sprinted toward the perimeter. The silverback took a heavy, deliberate step forward. The audience held its collective breath, expecting a violent strike from the beast. Instead, the massive ape stopped inches from the child. He did not roar. He did not bare his teeth. He simply sat down, forming a living shield. When the child whimpered in pain, the gorilla reached out a massive, calloused hand, not to grab, but to gently pat the boy's back. He remained a silent sentry for minutes that passed in agonizing slow motion, until the rescue team finally arrived with ropes and tranquilizers. The world watched the footage, stunned by a creature who chose mercy over instinct. True heroes move in silence, driven by an ancient, protective grace. Whose story of animal heroism has moved you most? Subscribe and follow Tale Nexa for more incredible tales.